This is BeerSmith Podcast episode number 101, and it's early April 2015. Gary Glass, the head of the American Homebrewers Association, joins me this week to discuss the upcoming National Homebrew Conference. Thank you to this week's sponsor, Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine. They're now offering a full 6 issues a year, up from 4 at a great discount. They're offering a new discount code now, which gives you 15% off everything you sell, including subscriptions and training. The new code is BeerSmith 2015. I encourage you to check out this great new magazine for homebrewers at beerandbrewing.com and use the offer code BeerSmith 2015 to get your 15% discount today. And also Brewha. The Brewha BEAC is a full control brewing system in which all aspects of beer making, from water heating to fermentation, occur in just one high-quality stainless steel vessel. It takes less space, requires less time, and costs less money than a traditional brewing system. Check out the Brewha BEAC at brewhaequipment.com. And of course, my home brewing software, BeerSmith. Download your free 21-day trial of BeerSmith Desktop today from beersmith.com. Or check out my BeerSmith mobile app on iTunes or the Google Play Store. And now let's jump into this week's episode. Today on the show, Gary Glass, director of the American Homebrewers Association, joins me to talk about the AHA and also the upcoming 2015 National Homebrewers Conference in San Diego. Gary heads up the 40,000-member Homebrewers Association and is also active in the parent Brewers Association organization. Gary, it's great to have you on the show.
Oh, great to be with you.
How you doing, man? What have you been doing lately?
I've been busy running the American Homebrewers Association, which takes up most of my time these days.
Takes up all your free time, huh?
It definitely gets into the mix of free time, but I mean that's kind of a part of making your hobby your work. So
I bet there's a few guys out there who'd be willing to trade jobs with you though if you're getting bored.
I'm not looking to leave. I as far as I'm concerned, I got the best job in the world. I get to serve homebrewers, and homebrewers are, as you know, the best people around. So
they're the best.
I got no complaints.
Well, good. Well, Gary, let's start with those who may not yet be AHA members and talk for a minute about what the AHA is all about and how it's related to the Brewers Association.
Yeah, so the American Homebrewers Association got started in 1978, founded by 2 guys named Charlie Mattson and Charlie Papazian. Charlie Papazian, author of The Complete Joy of Homebrewing, so I'm sure many people know who he is. And has evolved over time. We're a not-for-profit organization, and our mission is to promote the community of homebrewers and empower homebrewers to make the best beer in the world. And we do that through a lot of education. We publish Zymergy magazine and the homebrewersassociation.org website. We also
right there. There's the website right there.
Yeah, there it is. We also do a promotion of the hobby through the media, trying to get more coverage for homebrewing so that we bring more people into the hobby, and we advocate on behalf of homebrewers on legislative issues. So a lot of support for the homebrewing community in general.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm an AHA member, as you know, and tell the folks out there why they should join.
Well, I would say there's a lot that you get out of being a member. On the magazine, we also have our eZymergy and Zymergy apps, so you can access the magazine online or via mobile mobile devices, and you actually get access to an archive of all the back issues going back to 2000. We have our member deals program, which gives discounts to AHA members at over 1,100 businesses across the country. So in most cases, the membership actually pays for itself. But we also put on as we're going to talk about today, the National Homebrewers Conference, the National Homebrew Competition, which is world's largest beer competition. We do events like Big Brew and Learn to Homebrew Day, Mead Day. So just a lot of activity on behalf of homebrewers. We've got online resources for members, and just to provide a lot of information to help our members make better beer, but also promote the hobby. And so by joining the organization, you help support an organization that's going to make sure that people can homebrew well into the future.
Mm-hmm. Well, I last had you on back in 2012, and AHA's grown quite a bit, and the whole hobby's grown quite a bit. We've seen some spectacular growth the last few years. What's that all about?
Yeah, it's been growing. Really since about 2005, we've seen average annual growth of about 20% per year. Seems to be slowing down a little bit these days, but we're continuing to see growth. We now have about 45,000 members, so up about 10,000 since the last time we talked.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, good times for homebrewers.
Well, today we wanted to talk a little bit about the National Homebrewers Conference, which is scheduled for, June 11th through 13th at the Town and Country Resort in San Diego. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the big conference coming up?
Yeah. This is one of my favorite things of the year is the National Homebrewers Conference. It's the world's largest gathering of homebrewers. We are anticipating over 3,000 people coming to San Diego for this year's conference. It's going to be a fantastic time. If you've never been to San Diego, it is one of the great beer cities in the country. There are over 100 breweries in San Diego County, and I believe over 50 within the city limits. So it's pretty spectacular place to go. The weather is fabulous. And we're going to take full advantage of it at the Town and Country Resort. We actually have the entire hotel space. So we were able to spread out throughout the grounds and use the outdoor space without having to worry about interrupting any other groups that might be there.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I think it was about 4 years ago we had it at the same place, right?
Yeah, we were there in 2011.
And at that time, it was quite a bit smaller, about half the size, I think.
Yeah, I think we had about 1,900 attendees, and we set a record then. Hopefully, we set a new record this year and get up over 3,000. Hope we have capacity for up to 4,000, and possibly even more. So we can definitely have one hell of a homebrew party here at the Town and Country.
Well, this is my favorite event of the year, and the schedule actually starts a little bit early with the pre-conference events and tours. The official schedule starts on Thursday, but there's a number of events on Tuesday and Wednesday. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the pre-conference events?
Yeah, sure. There's a lot of brewery tours. I mean, obviously in San Diego, there's a lot of breweries to go see. So the local committee is helping to organize some of those tours, as well as a lot of the breweries in San Diego Brewers Guild are putting together some bus tours. And I know that the Brewing Network is having their annual party on the Wednesday before the conference.
So it's going to be Wednesday night this year? I think last year was on a Thursday, right?
Right. Yep. So Wednesday night, they're doing that. That's always a fun time, and then beer dinners, beer breakfasts, beer just about anything you can imagine.
It's not just for breakfast anymore, really.
No. I've always said 3 meals a day.
It's great. Well, I notice we also start with an industry-only reception on Wednesday afternoon, which is part of the expanded industry schedule you actually have this year. Can you tell us a little bit about that for folks that are involved in the homebrewing industry?
Yeah. So this is something that we started doing a few years ago. There used to be an organization called the Home Wine and Beer Trade Association that represented the homebrew supply shops and the wholesalers and the suppliers that supply the homebrew market, and that kind of went defunct a few years back. And so really under the leadership of Jake Keeler, who was on the AHA governing committee, we tried to take up some of the slack and offer some support for homebrew retailers by offering a workshop. This is the first year we've really incorporated the industry portion of what we do into the conference itself. So anybody who's involved in a business that supplies the homebrew market can sign up for this industry registration, and that includes 4 separate seminars aimed specifically at helping homebrew supply shops be better businesses, and thus better serve the homebrew community. And then we also have a reception on Wednesday that will be taking place at the Town and Country as an opportunity for homebrew retailers and the employees within of the retailers and wholesalers to get together and just mingle and share stories.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, they're really the core of the homebrewing industry, really, for all homebrewers, right?
Right. I mean, we can't homebrew without the retailers, and having that local homebrew supply shop is really kind of the heart of the local community, because that's where people get their supplies and get their advice. That's where most people get started with the hobby, is walking into a homebrew supply shop. So it's very important that we as homebrewers support the local homebrew supply shops, and I'm very happy that the AHA is able to provide a service for those retailers.
Cool. Well, the official conference kicks off on Thursday with a series of seminars. Tell us about the seminars. You got a whole bunch of them this year, and what they offer.
Yeah, we have 58 seminars for this year's conference, which I believe is probably the most we've ever had, or at least tied with last year. They cover a huge range of different topics. I mean, anything that's beer, mead, or cider related, covering beer styles, covering process. We've got talks on historical talks. Just about anything you can imagine, and speakers such as yourself. I think you're talking on beer clarity, correct?
Yeah, I'm speaking again twice this year, I think.
Yeah. Okay. And then we've got people from the brewing industry, such as Vinny Chilurzo from Russian River is talking about a specific hop that's been tested by homebrewers, an experimental hop variety. That should be a really amazing talk. Mitch Steele from Stone Brewing Company will be speaking. We've got Peter Zine from AleSmith. Longtime homebrewers and authors like Randy Mosier and Ray Daniels, Gordon Strong, Jamil Zainashev. It's just a huge list of kind of who's who within homebrewing and the beer industry, and they're going to be at this conference, and so it's an opportunity for everybody who's attending to hear from these experts, as well as just intermingle with them, because they're going to be around for the whole conference. Yeah, I mean,
you guys have book signings, and of course, there are people wander around at all the events, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you see all these people that you read about or see you're posting in the forums and whatnot, and they're all there. So and they're homebrewers, so they're nice people. They're happy to meet you and share their knowledge. That's one of the beauties of this community, is that there's not a whole lot of egos out there. It's really about sharing.
So Thursday evening, you have the welcoming toast, the keynote, and then a little reception. Tell us about that first, the keynote address.
Yeah. So we've lined up Tommy Arthur from the Lost Abbey and Port Brewing. He got started as a homebrewer, and he's very eager to address the crowd. So we'll have him delivering our keynote address. We'll kick things off with a toast to launch the conference. And then that evening we have our welcome reception, which this year, since we're in San Diego, we're actually going to do it outside. Pretty much guaranteed great weather. So we're going to bring in 50 or more breweries to set up around the hotel grounds. And with the Town and Country, it's the space is kind of right in the middle of the hotel spaces. Gardens and pools and patios and fountains, and it's a really beautiful setting. And so we will have breweries spread out around the hotel grounds, and attendees can just wander around and sample beers and talk to the representatives from the breweries. So it's going to be a fantastic time. I'm super excited about this because we haven't done this outside before. So
this is kind of like Pro Brewers Night, but we're doing it outside, right?
Right. Yeah.
Fantastic. I should point out that all day Thursday, there's also final round judging going on for the National Homebrewers Awards. Tell us about the final round judging and how somebody even gets to that point.
Sure. Yeah. This is the National Homebrew Competition happens in 2 stages. It's the world's largest beer competition. We had around 8,000 entries this year. And right now we've got judging going on at 12 different judge centers around the country. And then for each of the 28 BJCP categories that are judged at each one of those 12 judge centers, we send on the top 3 entries from each category onto the final round. And then the final round is judged on Thursday during the National Homebrewers Conference. And then because we have this, we have 3,000 plus homebrewers attending the conference, we have most of the top ranked judges from the beer judge certification program there. It's probably the best selection of judges you will find for any homebrew competition. Which is great because it's so hard to get your entries into the final round. So it's a massive challenge to get past all those entries in the first round, get onto the final round, and then be competing with all these entries that were the top from each of those 12 judge centers.
So I mean, you're really competing with the best beer in the whole country, really, at that point.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's a phenomenal selection of entries and the top judges in our hobby, all in one place. So it's a pretty big deal. And then we'll be able to announce the awards later in the conference.
Mm-hmm. During the day, we also have the Homebrew Expo going on and the social club going on, where most of the major homebrewing suppliers are showing their latest products. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, this year we've got a record number of exhibitors lined up. So we're going to have over 100 exhibitors in the exhibit hall to the Homebrew Expo. And there's really nothing else like it. It's, just an incredible array of different, products. So we've got suppliers from the malt suppliers, hop suppliers, yeast suppliers, but equipment suppliers. Every year there's some new gadgets that show up that just blow me away. And the opportunity to go and talk to the manufacturers about these new products and see what's out there, kind of what you can potentially drool over, and the next thing that you need to have. It's incredible. And then we have a lot of breweries that also exhibit. And so we've got breweries that are going to be serving their beers. We've got a lot of the exhibitors that are obviously homebrewers as well. They're serving their homebrews. And then we have the social club mixed in, which, we'll have host clubs serving their homebrews, in the expo hall.
So the beer's there all the time, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much nonstop. So that it is, we like to say it's a marathon, not a sprint. You do need to pace yourself because,
I learned that the first year. Yeah, very important.
Yeah, very important. Stay hydrated, take your vitamins.
It's good to eat food once in a while too.
Yeah, make sure you're eating. But there are literally going to be thousands of different beers at this conference, so you cannot possibly taste every single beer. No point in trying.
But it is some great beer. It's really pretty amazing. Even at the Homebrew Expo, just some of the beers going across that are incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's really amazing. One thing that is a little different this year with this year's conference, there have been some new laws passed in California, so we do have to keep the homebrew completely separate from the commercial beer. And have like stanchions and things, but it'll still be the same great conference, just a little bit different in that respect. But yeah,
cool. And then Friday, you have more seminars, of course, all day, and then also the AHA members meeting going on. What are you doing at the AHA's members meeting this year?
Well, actually, we've got a executive committee call this evening, and we're going to be talking about what we're going to plan for the members meeting. It's usually an opportunity for us for us, meaning the staff of the AHA as well as the members of the governing committee, to talk about what's been going on at the AHA of late, but also hear feedback from members. So we definitely encourage as many members as possible to show up and let us know how the AHA can be better serving you. But we'll probably have some specific theme to talk about for the members meeting.
Cool. And then, of course, Friday evening is my favorite event, Club Night. Can you try and put into words, try and capture just what Club Night is like?
I can attempt it, but it can't be done, honestly. It's something you just have to experience to understand. So we will probably have somewhere on the order of 80 or more homebrew clubs from around the country, actually around the world. We've had clubs from Canada and elsewhere that have served during Club Night. But every club has their own theme. Really, based something around where they're from. And they dress the part. They have these elaborate, booths that they set up. And again, like the welcome reception, we'll be doing it outdoors because we can. We're in San Diego. It's going to be beautiful. So it's going to be this massive outdoor festival, and there's nowhere that you're going to find a more eclectic selection of beers than at Club Night. Nowhere in the world will you find a more eclectic selection of beers, because it's all homebrew, and it's whatever these homebrewers have come up with, which every year it blows me away. I'll see something that just sounds like a terrible combination, and it will turn out beautifully. And the clubs themselves, they want to best represent their clubs, so they kind of self-select and try and make sure. I have to say,
they bring some of their best beers to the conference, and it's incredible.
Yeah, and so I mean, if you can try to imagine 3,000 homebrewers all in one place, all talking about homebrews, and serving homebrew and trying to impress everybody else with how crazy they can get with their costumes and their setups.
Here's a sampling here. What costume?
Yeah, it's amazing. There's just, like I said, there's just nothing else like it, and you have to experience it to understand.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago, there was a group that did the Belgian costume. They had the Belgian monk costume, of course, and they were serving Belgian beers. And they actually shaved their heads with the entire bowl cut, with a hole on the top even. It was a pretty dedicated group, I would say.
That was a very dedicated group.
I
couldn't pull that off.
Pretty incredible. Of course, Saturday continues with more seminars, and of course, the expo continues and actually wraps up on Saturday. But we finish with a grand awards banquet on Saturday night, and I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the awards banquet, because that's first of all, a very special meal, right?
Yeah. So we do a beer paired meal as part of the grand banquet. This year we have Chef Adam Dooley, who's now the Brewers Association executive chef. So part of our parent organization. He is our chef, and he is he's associated with the Abbott's Cellar in San Francisco, as well as the Monk's Kettle in San Francisco. Got a fantastic background in beer and food. He runs the farm to table portion of the Great American Beer Festival. So bringing together chefs and breweries and pairing. So he is a foremost expert on beer and food pairing, and so having him prepare the meal for us is super exciting. It's going to be fabulous.
So it's typically a multi-course meal, and each course comes with a beer pairing, right?
That's right. Yeah. And then and this year's sponsor for the banquet is Lagunitas. So the beers will be provided by Lagunitas Brewing Company.
Awesome.
So yeah,
some good beers, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. Going to have some great beers and a great meal to go with it.
So after we have the wonderful meal, of course, we have the Homebrew Awards, right?
Right. So the awards for the National Homebrew Competition then take place after the meal, and so we get to find out who the best of the best is with the awards. So the first, second, and third place, gold, silver, and bronze medal winners in each category, as well as Homebrewer of the Year, Mead Maker of the Year, Cider Maker of the Year, the Ninkasi Award, and the Club Awards. So
Yeah, there's a number of club awards
cider.
where special clubs are recognized as well, right?
Right. So we will announce our before we get started with the competition awards. We'll announce the winner of the Radagast Club of the Year. So that's kind of our club service award, recognizing clubs for what they do to promote the hobby and support their local community. And then, as part of the competition, we have our Gambrinus Club Award, as well as the Homebrew Club of the Year Award, recognizing success within the competition.
Very cool. And that pretty much wraps up the conference at that point, right? Saturday night?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you still got any stamina left after that, I'll be impressed.
Yeah, it's definitely a marathon. So now I understand you can still register for this year's conference. How can people sign up?
Yeah, you can go to our website for the conference, the ahaconference.org.
There it is.
Yep, there it is, and just click the section for register, and you can find out about the different packages that are offered, and sign up.
So you can pick different packages, different events that you want to participate in, right?
Right. So we have our full conference registration, which is $230, and then you can add on the banquet for $65, and you can also add on if you register as a full conference registrant, you can add on an additional person as a social package for a little bit less, and that excludes the seminars but gets you into everything else.
So I mean, you don't have to do the whole thing. You just come down for a couple days if you want, right?
Yeah, sure. So you do have to register for a full conference in order to get that social package. So it's mainly for people who want to bring a spouse who's interested in participating, but maybe not as interested in the uber geekiness of the seminars.
I mean, it'd be perfectly fine to come down for Friday and Saturday, right?
Yeah, sure.
And of course, hit Homebrewers Night, which is the best of all.
Yeah, you got to hit the club night.
Well, Gary, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I certainly want to welcome everybody who wants to attend this conference to show up, because there's not going to be anything else like it. San Diego is a unique place. There's a lot to do beyond just the conference. Got the San Diego Zoo. They've also got a safari park. They've got the SeaWorld, the beaches. There's so much to do. I totally encourage you, if you're going to go, make a vacation out of it.
Yeah, some people make a whole week out of it, right?
Yeah, and we also have a really great lineup of commemorative beers for this year's conference. We've got several different commemorative beers. We've got one from Green Flash, one from Russian River. We've got one from a collaboration that includes Heretic Brewing Company, and Karl Strauss, and a few others. So these beers you won't be able to get anywhere else. And given the breweries that are making them, they're bound to be fabulous. So it's another perk of attending the conference. One thing that we do, for registration, you do have to be a member of the American Homebrewers Association. It's in fact, in California, it's a legal requirement that everybody has to be a member, and we can't sign up people on the day of the event. So you do have to register in advance.
Okay, so definitely get your AHA membership before you register, and sign up ahead of time, right?
Yeah. And then once you experience the conference, you're going to go every year, because it's just that much fun. So you're going to want to go. You're going to make friends that are going to be your friends for life.
Absolutely. Really enjoyed it. I've gone every single year since my very first one as well. Great experience. Well, thanks again, Gary. I really appreciate you being on the show.
Oh, thank you, Brad. I really appreciate being on.
So thanks again to Gary Glass. He's the director of the American Homebrewers Association, for joining us today. Gary, I really look forward to seeing you in June. Looking forward to the conference. I think it's going to be a great one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well, and it'll be great to see you as always.
Thanks again, Gary.
Thanks, Brad.
Well, a big thank you to Gary Glass for joining me this week. Thanks also to Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine, where you can get your 15% discount on their magazine or anything in their store if you use the offer code BeerSmith2015 when you shop at beerandbrewing.com. Again, use the offer code BeerSmith2015 and get your subscription now at beerandbrewing.com. And also, Brewha. The Brewha BIAC is an all-in-one stainless brewing system that takes up less space, requires less time, and gives you amazing control. Check out this new brewing system at brewhaequipment.com. Again, brewhaequipment.com. Finally, give BeerSmith homebrewing software a try by downloading your free trial today from beersmith.com. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a great brewing week.